everybody. Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THL publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, Carolina basketball, specifically R.J. Davis. And we're not going to dive into a bunch of the historical marks he can hit next season, but I will throw this out there because I marvel at it. It's just an amazing stat. R.J. is 784 points away from tying Tyler Hansbrough as North Carolina's all-time leading scorer. This past season, RJ had 784 points. So he is well within reach of becoming Carolina's all-time leading scorer. Yes, in a fifth year, but it's still something he can do. Many other things he can do. We'll climb more into that direction when the season gets closer. What I want to talk about right now is what are the things that RJ is working on this offseason? First team All-America last year, ACC Player of the Year, led the ACC in scoring, had a phenomenal year in so many respects. So what is he doing to improve on that? He came back to North Carolina for a reason. He wants to win. So what are the things RJ's doing that will make him a better player, which will put North Carolina in position to win more games? Before I get into the rest of that, quick reminder, for just $8.33 a month, you can be a Tar Heel Insider too. Just head on over to TarHeelIllustrated.com. It's only $8.33, guys. It's less than your basic drive-through order now. You go to any fast food joint, whatever number you want, it's going to be $8.33 or more, and usually more, in some cases, a lot more now, like $12, $13 in some, with some meals. It's just $8.33. In a little over a month, I will begin my 11th year. I'll be 10 years in the books at THI. We're the same price now we were when I took over. We haven't changed our price. Everything else skyrocketed. Everything's skyrocketing. So head on over. You get a ton of stuff that you'll never find on our free articles and you never find on any of these podcasts. Okay, back to R.J. Davis. He can improve his field goal shooting inside the arc. Last year, RJ shot, 39.7% from three. He was in the low 40s from 2-point range, but he was 52.1 effective field goal percent. And when you look at the top scores across the country, that was the lowest among the top 6. And it was the second lowest among the top 12. Now, some of those other guys, a lot of them are bigs. They're big forwards, big wings, to big men. Zach Edey was at the top of that list. But Mark Sears from Alabama was just ahead of him and had a significantly higher effective field goal percentage. So what I see from RJ is being a little better, a little more accurate inside the lane. Now, I'm sure the staff has broken down to a T when he was off as opposed to when he wasn't. We could chalk it up to maybe there were times RJ took a lot of shots in some games trying to come back. I go back to the ACC championship against NC State. And when they were behind, he kind of tried to do a lot himself. So maybe if other guys are shooting better, for example, Elliot Cadeau, when RJ's on the floor, RJ's not going to pass up an okay three if Elliot has a great three. If Elliot's not shooting, it's just human nature on a basketball court. If Elliot's a better shooter, improves as much as we think he probably will from year 1 to year 2, maybe RJ passes up that shot. Maybe he kicks out to the perimeter when he's in the lane instead of putting up a highly contested floater. He's also got someone like Cade Tyson out there. If Tyson, who shot 45% at Belmont last year, which is better than any number that Cormac Ryan ever shot at Stanford or Notre Dame before arriving in Chapel Hill. If Tyson's that guy or close to it and he's consistent, there's another kick-out option. I think there were times maybe RJ forced some shots in the lane. Kick-outs weren't always there. And if Harrison Ingram wasn't open, sometimes there weren't great options out there. So maybe that is something that comes with playing with the other guys, which is also on this list. He's got to play with Cade Tyson a ton this summer to get comfortable with each other. The new and improved Elliot Cadeau, same kind of thing, getting used to how the big men play this year, as opposed to having Armando Bacot anchored down low, and that affected some of RJ's drives into the lane as well. But if you've got bigs that are moving a little bit more, that are a little bit quicker, can step away a little bit more at their games to drag a defender out there, maybe sometimes it helps side defense isn't there, and RJ can get to the rim a little bit more often and have a higher shooting percentage inside the arc. They also need to figure out why his free throw percentage dropped. This was one of the more curious developments of this past season. Through the first 17 games, RJ was 67 for 70 from the free throw line. That's 95.7%. That's incredible. However, the last 20 games, he still shot great from the free throw line. 84 for 103. That's 81.6%. But 81.6% is lower than his anytime his first 3 seasons. So if that was his season percentage, it would have been a career low. And that was over 20 games. There were a lot of games he missed free throws. There were a couple late he missed 2. Did he get tired? Well, in his junior year, RJ played 34.9 minutes a game. In his senior year, he played 34.8 minutes a game. But maybe those were a more difficult 34.8 minutes because of the reliance on him to get shots, create shots. He was better and more dialed in defensively, so he's exerting more energy on that end. He was the focal point of opposing defenses. At times, teams were guarding him in his jock 30 feet from the basket. Remember, Duke did that in the first meeting. So he had to work harder to get his points. So his 34.8 minutes this past season, I think, were more taxing than the 34.9 the year before. So maybe he did get a little tired, or maybe there's something else. Whatever it is, I'm sure they've looked into it, and I'm sure it's something he's worked on, and that is part of the mission for the offseason as well. Defensively, RJ can get better. He improved a lot between year 3 and year 4 defensively. Much, much better at getting over and under screens. Much better job communicating with the switches. Really took a lot of steps forward, but he can be better. So that is an area that RJ, I'm sure, is working on. And I noted the comfort with Tyson. He's got to continue to get comfortable with Elliot Cadeau's game as it improves. But K. Tyson is not Cormac Ryan. There are a lot of people out there that are kind of equating him to a little bit longer Cormac. Yeah, he's a little bit longer Cormac, but he's not Cormac. So there's more movement to the basket. There's more stuff in the lane in Cade's game. He's 6'7" as opposed to 6'5". He gets offensive rebounds. He's someone who will find more spots on the floor than perhaps Cormac did. So RJ's got to get used to that as well. And the other thing, and RJ talked about this in March when looking ahead, and he acknowledged, he says, I got to be a better leader. I got to be more vocal. He's not the voice you will always hear emanating from that locker room if you happen to be standing outside it after a game, win or loss. Just isn't one of those voices. The voices last year, Armando was one, but it became more Harrison and Cormac. Well, they don't have Harrison and Cormac now, and there's no certainty it's going to come from anybody else. In his 5th year, being a guy that has achieved what he has, the returning ACC Player of the Year, RJ needs to be more vocal. He needs to find that in him, within him, and he needs to be consistent with it. And leadership doesn't start when the first game starts or when the first practice starts. Leadership's the kind of thing that is established in the offseason. Mac Brown talks about it all the time. It's like, look, you don't become a leader on September 20th. You become a leader on May 20th, June 20th. So those are the things that RJ is working on. He was amazing last year. He can be even better this coming season, especially with all these items being addressed. If you're excited about what kind of season RJ can have in year 5 as a Tar Heel, go ahead and click like on this video. No matter what you think right now, click like on the video. More likes on the video, the better. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Share the video with all your Tar Heel friends. Let them know we're here. And go over to THI, guys, just $8.33 a month, and come back for tomorrow's video. So hopefully we will continue to see you more and more and more in these videos. I'm Andrew Jones, and thank you for stopping by.